坚持不下去了，怎么办？
我陪你。
The first open-source audio and video integrated model LTX2 is here. It integrates all the core functions of video generation in one model. It has 19 billion parameters and can generate video and audio simultaneously, producing video clips with matching sound effects, dialogue, or music without the need for post-production synthesis. This lesson explains its use in detail and uses optimized GGUF workflow to allow you to run smoothly. Mode, which merges the UNet model clip and VAE model. Let's move this the manager, so that you can search for the loader of this VAE in the manager, and then change the names to video VAE. Memory. The maximum length should not exceed 20 seconds. Prompt words are very important. The official has given very detailed prompt word guidelines. To make full use of the LTX2 model, a good prompt word will make a huge difference. The key is to naturally describe your complete story picture from beginning to end, covering all the necessary elements. This is very important. Only the things mentioned in the keywords will be displayed on the screen. The prompt word should focus on the photography style, scene, action, characters, camera movement, audio and sound effects. It is highly recommended that you read its prompt word guide in its entirety. Of course, the best way is to use AI tools to help us get suitable prompt words. The corresponding prompt word generation tool has been
Curry is a starter in the All-Star game.
Because here I am using a LoRa that moves forward, so the final result then this time our resolution can be increased accordingly. We changed it to 19201088 and the duration is 5 seconds. Let's take a look at the generated results. Congratulations to Curry on his All-Star debut. Next, let's take a look at the workflow of touching video. It is also not recommended to use the distilled version, as its effect is not good. We use this full version, and the modification here is relatively simple. We copy the previous model part and the LoRa part together to replace the original ones. The top one uses channel 1, and the bottom one uses channel 2. The model used is exactly the same as LoRa, and VAE is connected. This is the audio VAE, and clip. Delete it here. Next we need to load the image. This time we used an ancient style image, but the resolution was too high. Load the adjustment image node of the KJ node and adjust it to a resolution of 1024 by 768. You can preview it because the proportions are different. I use cropping here. This is the effect after cropping. Then specify the same resolution here. In order to make the two more unified, we can add a node like get image size behind this, and then connect its width and height to this side, so that we only need to control the top. These remain unchanged, and then we also need to simplify the prompt word part and put these directly. Delete and keep this and load the clip node. We need to get the right keyword that is positive. Once again we use this language model node, but the difference between this and before is that this time